Hey everybody! Today what we're going to do is we're going to look at the difference between two words that people have a lot of problems distinguishing, mostly because they're not thinking of the sound. And those words are colleague and college. I know, if you speak Spanish as a first language, you probably have a lot of trouble with this one. So here's what I'd like you to do. I don't want you to think about the meaning this time. I want you to think about the sound, because the sound of these two words is not the same. When you say college, you're actually saying something that's called a dental fricative. To make that sound, you have to make a buzzy sound with your tongue and your teeth. J. And that's the same sound as the J in January, the G in George, the G's in George, and the DG in bridge and edge. So it's a sound you create at the front of your mouth. If you think about it from a physiological standpoint, it's at the front of the mouth. You make it by putting your tongue to your teeth and its sound. Try saying it now. J. Try it again. J. Colleague, however, has a sound that we say in a different part. The G in colleague is very similar to the letter K. The only difference is that the G has voice and K for the K, it doesn't. And that G sound is the same sound as the sound you use when you pronounce words like green, go, dog, agree. It's actually a stop at the back of your throat. So if I wanted to draw a diagram of a head, I would show you here on the map that the G sound is at the back of the throat. It's your tongue going against your soft palate, and it's voiced. So it's not at the front, it's at the back. If you have a lot of difficulty trying to pronounce the word colleague, there are two things you can do. You can pronounce it slightly incorrectly. So instead of saying colleague, try saying colleague with a K, because that'll be a lot closer to what you were saying before. Your second option is just to avoid the word altogether and just say coworker. Because in most most English-speaking countries, they'll understand that a coworker and a colleague is usually the same thing. Now, I don't want to give you all kinds of help with different sounds in English, because the BBC Learning English website is an excellent source of information for these difficult sounds, especially the ones that sound really similar, but you don't know how to tell them apart. So definitely visit bbclearningenglish.com, and they'll be able to give you more information. Their website's really good for this. And last but not least, be sure to make a list of the words that you find difficult to hear and difficult to pronounce. By focusing your attention on those things, it'll make it a lot easier to be able to pay attention to the problem and eliminate it. So I hope you found this useful. As always, please feel free to visit the blog at stop-spanglish.blogspot.ca, or if you'd like more information about English classes for Spanish speakers of English, please visit the website at www.stopspanglish.com.